Hey everybody, welcome to the towing video.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Turn signal, out the turn signal, brakes. Piper signal.
I have a pound of food, a half a pound of coffee, 125 pounds of meat, plus probably 3 pounds of clothes, and I have at least 4 liters of water and an iPad in my bag. So
wow, you got all the things.
do the math.
And I touch it to my leg, and then I walk over to the hitch, and I raise it up until that lip touches my hand. I pull up to the thing in my lane, and then I do the S method. I am setting up now the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. It's not something I've ever used. I just pushed this button and turned it on. I placed my checkerboard sticker back there. I did the same spot that I had it on the old trailer when we did this for the first truck, but I've never used this setup on this truck. So it says increase speed slowly to continue. So it's, I'm assuming, checking the calibration. Now it says drive left or right. To calibrate, system calibrating. Calibrating.
You have to hold steering wheel steady during a turn. So maybe I want you to go all the way left or all the way right.
Calibration complete. Stop to activate. Let's see what this does.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
That's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What did it say?
You went pretty abrupt on the knob, and it was alerting you that you might jackknife.
All right, let's go show you what's up. So already I have the wide angle view all the way around, and I have the rear showing the hitch there. I see Piper in the screen. She thinks we're going somewhere. All right, everybody, good morning. I am filming this again for the third time. In this video, I'm going to cover all the things towing, backing up, hitching, mirrors, cameras, all the things that I can think about for towing purposes. I have filmed this thing in pieces already. Some of the footage got messed up, but some of it's still good. I may use a few of those things, but I'm going to go over all the things on the screen here, all the things on towing. So let's go. Join me. First things first, I am happy with the Ford so far. I've got 9,000 miles on the truck right now, something close to that. Let's see. Let's fire it up. Get to listen to all the bells and whistles and things from the Ford. It's all dingy. Return to tow haul? Not yet. All right. I see these wires in my camera right there. Those are the mirror wires, but you can, my camera that I installed is here. It looks seamless, but these are not those wires. These are Ford. I wish they would cover them. I wish they would cover them up, because I can always see it when I'm recording something from the camera over there. Otherwise, not noticeable. I also put in this really cool big mirror here. I don't know if you can see it somewhat on this camera here, but it's pretty large. I can see all the things in the back seat. It's a wide angle view mirror that makes me able to, I can see Piper. That's really the point. Okay, I'm going to hitch up. So first things first on hitching up, I'm going to show you how I find my hitch height on the trailer. So I walk up to the truck. I stand next to the ball. I put my hand on or close to the top of the ball as I can without getting grease on it, and I touch it to my leg, and then I walk over to the hitch and I raise it up until that lip touches my hand, and I know that that's the appropriate height. Okay, now we're going to try the Pro Hitching Assist. So I'm going to move forward some. Pro Hitch Up Assist. Trailer is not connected, so it's initializing. It's a cloudy day, so I hope all the... Okay, so there's my hitch. It's in the green. Now I push the button and hold it, and I let my foot off the brake. It's pretty crazy. Every other time I've tried this, it's gone straight, and at the last minute it turns crooked, like now. Why are you going the wrong way? It's appropriate. So I don't know if it's picking up something down here, the chains, that box. I don't know what it's picking up. See, I get to that every time. Let's try this one more time. If it don't work, I'm gonna do it the normal way. I've done this. Now that's number 8. Now number 8 time I've tried that setup, and not once has it gotten on there. Trailer's not connected. So I'm gonna back up. Oh, too far. You got to give it room, I guess. So that's dead in the center of the bullseye. That is the correct trailer. So I'm going to press and hold. See, it's going to it, it's going to it, it's going to it. All things look good. And then it turns at the last minute. It's appropriate. I don't know why. I don't know if it's picking up my aux blocks down there, or the snap pad down there, or what. I don't know what it's picking up. See, same thing happens every time. So I don't know what to do with that. I truly don't know. I got online last night, looked at every resource I could find, and nothing materialized. So Pro Trailer Assist, or Pro Trailer Hitching Assist, thumbs down. I've tried it almost 10 times now, and not once has it worked. So I'm going to back up on my own, turn off my parking sensor. Now as I get close, I'm just going to hit the plus sign here, and I'll back under the hitch. Right there, looks good. So I go until the barely edge of the ball is right under that lip, because when the trailer comes down, it kind of comes down and forward some. So we'll put it in park there and go hitch it up. And while we are serenaded with all the forward bells here, one cool thing about when you're backing up to a trailer and getting close to something, it automatically puts the parking brake on for you every time. So, and when you park the trailer, it puts it on for you every time too. So that's a really cool feature. I'm going to go through the connection checklist real quick. Again, so it's a conventional trailer. I'm going to connect the ball and coupler. Okay, that's done. Plug in all electrical connections, TPMS and camera. Now 7-way pin, done. Safety chains, breakaway switch I just did. Ensure lamps function correctly. So trailer light check. And I'm going to start that. I'm going to go check it out. I will show you a video of me doing that already in this spot right here. Lights off, lights on, turn signal, out the turn signal, brakes, hyper signal, brakes off. Now, it will continue that cycle until you stop it. So, everything looks good. Okay, exit that so all the lights are working appropriately. Tongue jacks raised, move chocks. I reviewed these chocks before, but they're called One Step from Fastway. They go between your tires and you step on them and they go flat like that. I did a review video. I'll put these in here, but I love these chocks. I think they're fantastic. Adjust the mirrors. So mirrors are already out, but you push them out for it. I love the forward mirrors. They're huge and they're awesome. And when I have to drive something that doesn't have them, I really do miss it. trailer brake gain setting. So how I do that is, I'll just show you on the drive. All right, we are free and clear. House is ready to go. Trailer's hooked up utilizing the conventional trailer checklist. So I'm going to select trailer. The Airbnb is the name of my trailer. It's currently active. Now over here, I'm going to go to tow haul mode. That just changes your gear patterns a little bit. Check my cameras. So it's got my tire pressure. It says it's not detected at the moment, but there's my rear camera, bumper camera. So that's a really nice, wonderful feature to have. If you missed my video on installing the Ford system camera and tire pressure monitoring system, you can see it at the link in the video. And I'll go over some of that while we're driving here. And you can also see the dual side. So there's my split camera and there's my bumper camera, and I can rotate. So I'm looking down the side of the trailer, and then my bumper cam is there. So I love this towing and backup feature and parking feature. It's really, really nice. Something I wanted to check real quick. Trailer 360 setup. I think I've already, because I've already put the measurements in. I don't know the answer to that test. I've already put the measurements of the trailer in, so I don't need to do that, because it blind spot assistance. So your blind spot radar sensors in the tail lights on the Ford truck, it shoots the sensor back farther, so it knows if there's somebody in your blind spot with the trailer hooked up. Trailer navigation, I've already put in, and I overestimated some of this stuff. 9 feet, 9 inches plus the lift kit. So I made it trailer height 10.5 feet. Width is 8 feet, 5.5. That's the same. And then 28 feet length. And then I overestimated the weight for 8,000 pounds. So that will navigate me down roads that only allow this trailer and the height of this trailer. And I realized the other day I was towing, I had the height in there wrong, because I was trying to go somewhere and it wouldn't let me. It was navigating me away from it because it said you cannot go down this path, and I said, well, there's no reason not to, and it was because of the height. I had the height in here wrong. So that's been good so far. Everything else is good. I know I've already talked about this in other videos, but so trailer trip, I can edit the distance on the trailer. I can reset my fuel economy of the trailer. Right now I've been averaging 13.2 miles per gallon while pulling the trailer, which is pretty great considering it's a trailer and you're pulling a heavy house around the world. Trailer brake type. So if you were to change your brake type, you could have that. Brake effort is medium, high, or low. I leave it on medium so I just don't wear out the brakes, and then I change the gain for that. So the gain's there, but it'll give you a low kind of application of that brake gain, or to give you a high application of that brake gain, things like that. So it depends on the traffic you're in. Connection alarm. And if you disconnect, it'll give you an alarm. Pro trailer backup assist. You can, I have normal angle controls, but you can put max angle control, so it'll let you turn pretty sharp. And I will tell you, with normal angle, sometimes with a bumper tow, it's hard to get into a 90-degree turn backing into a spot with that normal angle. And it's pretty rare that you find that in a RV park, at least where the road's not wide. If you have these little narrow roads, they typically put the angled spots. Trailer maintenance, I've talked about this many, many times. I go through my chapter 8 of my Airstream manual and I say, all right, I need to do this at this miles or this at this month and whatever else. And I put that in here. And if it's not already listed, you can add one and make it your own. So I am always reminded to check my lug nut, lubricate my windows, rotate the tires, check the play in the axles, whatever else. I've gone through and put all the maintenance things in there. So every time I hook up to it, it tells me, hey, do the thing. So it's an easy reminder. Okay, so towing is there. When we come back from the towing part, I'm going to show you the scales and the onboard scales, and I'll show you the variety of scales that I have. I got a new hitch, WaySafe hitch, so it's got a scale built into that. Okay, let's go drive for a bit. Brakes off, seat set, mirrors set. I can see everything. One quick note on your mirrors, setting up the mirrors on the outside. What I like to teach folks is, if you're sitting in the driver's seat, wherever you are, have your partner, whoever it might be, go stand at the back of the trailer and stand right behind the bumper and put their hands out like this, like it's the headlights of a vehicle. And in my mirror, so they stand like they're pretending like they're in the other lane. And in my mirror, I should see my towing partner's hands, headlights, and my mirror. And I know that if at a minimum, if I can see both headlights in my mirror, based on where my partners stand, I'm clear. So I drive until I can at least see that, and I go past it a little bit. So if you can't use your camera for some reason, or your backup camera, I say backup camera, but your rear view camera that came with your Airstream, or if you hook up the camera system here, if that's gone, you still know where you're clear in driving, because you've had somebody stand there and pretend they had headlights, stand in the lane beside you and be clear of your bumper. So I know that when I see that, they're clear. And then I set up both mirrors that way. Couple things on this system. So if we're navigating, just say we're navigating, for example, and I'm going down the highway and I want to change lanes, and I put my turn signal on to the left, that is coming out of the camera here in this mirror, and I can see everything to the left, or to the right, I can see everything in the mirror to the right. So I love that setup feature. It does get annoying if you're trying to turn and follow the directions in here in a city, because the camera stays up there. The camera view stays up there for quite a while. So sometimes I have to shut it off to know, oh, I got to turn here or turn there. But there's a feature in this truck that's really cool, is your turn by turn directions come up in your heads up display and up here in your instrument cluster. So it really makes a difference from that perspective. So now we're out here, we're driving along, and we're going to play with the backup assist for just a moment. Where backup assist to me comes in a huge help is backing up straight for long distances, because it makes micro adjustments that you don't have to, and all you got to do is watch the camera or watch the mirror. So it's really handy from that perspective. So I'm going to turn it on. It's detecting the trailer. I did move my sticker yesterday, my checkerboard sticker there. Okay, so I'm in reverse, parking brakes off. I have my knob here, and I want to back up. I like the other view, bumper and that view, better than the one it just gave me. So and just playing along here, I can see I'm getting it going which way I want it to go. And it's kind of difficult to start with, because you got to figure out because you start turning and you got to hold the knob there to keep it to turning that direction. So that's something that takes a little bit of getting used to. And I'm just playing with the knob right now. I'm going to go a little bit farther this way. Now I want it to stay straight on that path. But it works pretty well in that regard. So you're trying to find the knob and get it used to turning which way is what's going. So now let's talk about our brake gain real quick. So I like to get up to 15 miles per hour or so and use the trailer brakes to stop it. So if I stop in a reasonable amount of distance, 15 to 20 feet, I think the brake gain is enough. That's how I test my brakes every morning. I don't push the pedal, I use the brake here. And if you're ever going down the highway and your trailer starts swaying around, use this. And one thing about where you sit in your cockpit, if you're all laid back and this is the way you drive and you have an emergency, you can't manage the emergency sitting like this. This is why I drive like this. I talked about this in a previous video, but I always practice and know where my trailer brake is. As we're driving down the highway, I just touch it just so I know, because you have a knob here for your traction controls, drive modes, and you have the knob here for Pro Trailer Backup Assist, and then your gear shifters here. So if you have an issue, can you touch that? Do you know where it's at? And are you getting confused with which knobs here? Because there's a lot of knobs in this area. Volume control, heater control, drive mode, and Pro Trailer Backup Assist, and then your little squeeze trigger. So make sure you can always feel where that's at. All right, let's go back up into our spot using the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. So one of the methods that I like having to get into your spot, as I call the S method. So when you pull up to it, the front tire is on line with the road right there, which is where the spot is. My backing into my spot. So this is going to the blind side. That's the most difficult side to me to back into, but backing into this side because you have very good control of your mirror. But I pull up to the thing in my lane, and then I'll do the S method. So I'm going to steer across to the other lane, and then when I get over there with my truck, I'm going to go forward again. So by the time I get going straight again, the back of my trailer is already pointed to my spot. Really handy method. You know, when Blair's here to help me out, it makes a huge difference. So when I start straight again, my rear axles are pointed almost at the pivot point, and that's the turn. So I always point, I can see my back tires in the mirror there, and I try to point my tires at that pivot point. So let's use Pro Trailer Backup Assist one more time. All right, back up slowly, turn knob to steer. So I'm letting off the brake. And I'm going to back into my spot. Now, one other feature that you may want to concern yourself with is the big mirror. I like to lower it so I can see my wheels. So I have my spot mirror down there, but I can also lower my big mirror so I can see that. We're going to back on into this spot here. Now I'm going to put on my bumper camera so I can kind of see where I'm going. These spots are pretty narrow. I just don't want, there's a picnic table that's close over there that I don't want to back on to. So now I'm back where I almost need to be. So I'm going to pull forward a little bit onto my snap pad for my leveling procedure. I've been out of this camping spot so many times, I kind of know where everything is. Thankfully, there's nothing behind me that I'm not worried about backing into something. So let me go chalk it up. Now back to towing. Connection checklist. If you wanted to make sure you do everything, you can do it in reverse. So the first thing is put your chocks in. Chocks are in, chains are off, breakaway switch is off, electrical cables are disconnected. Now I'm going to try, because I didn't put my aux blocks down, I just put it on the ground. So we'll see if that helps at all. Find the hitch. So that is the right trailer. Trying this again. Press and hold. Going a little fast. Now it's steering to the other side. It's appropriate. I don't get it. I just don't understand why it won't work. Maybe it's just the Airstream trailer. It doesn't like that propane tank. I've tried it in the sun, tried it in the shade. It's just the last few feet it goes wonky. I don't know. I don't know. Guess that's not a feature I'm going to use. All right, pull forward real quick. What I want to note is the scales. So I'm going to back in here on my own. Onboard scales. Let's go to pounds here, scale mode. So before you load something, that's you go to here, and then as you load things in, it'll increase or decrease. And you can set it back to 0 when you know you're ready. I want to go back to this towing thing real quick. So what I wanted to show you here real quick is if I do my airbags. So on these particular airbags, 5 psi is the minimum psi that you can have on them. That's always going to be there. But I run about 30 psi. You hear it coming on now. I run about 30 psi when I'm loaded, when the trailer's loaded on here. And it brings the back end up some, leveling it out and mostly reducing the jarring, bumpy roads. You should not ever use a airbag weight distribution purpose. That is a weight distribution hitch's job, not airbag's job. Airbags, there's a wonderful video out there from the company Equalizer about airbags and the weight distribution bars. If you've never watched that, you should. So those of you who think that airbags are doing the proper job of distributing the weight across the vehicle, they do not. They only make it level and reduce the jarring nature of some of these rough roads. Please understand that. Features, onboard scales. So I have a 4,009 pound payload capacity. That shows you I currently have about 1,700 pounds of stuff on the onboard scale. So I'm going to switch this to scale mode. So now I'm going to drop the ball on the hitch and see what the truck says it weighs. Okay, the truck shows that it weighs a little over 600 pounds. My new WaySafe hitch shows that it weighs almost 1,100 pounds. And then I'm going to show you my other scale and we'll see what it says. Now this may change as I get it like move forward a little bit and the ball center and everything else, and it'll be firmly on there. But it's a 400 pound variance with my airbag. So you see that the airbags are coming on now, and it's making it lighter on those scales. So just know that if you have airbags, it's going to be a game changer as far as the onboard scales go. You can kind of get an idea. Now see, it's even different now. Now it's showing about 800 pounds on the hitch, now that I've got those things reset down on there. So that's probably because it centered the ball hitch and made it on there, made the weight appropriately. So again, I found that 5 psi in my airbags makes about a 300 pound on average. I've done this many times now. It makes about a 300 pound difference. So I know that sitting on my hitch right now is about 1,100 pounds. So that's my consensus. Okay, I'm gonna pop it off of the truck, and we're gonna use my little handheld job. Pull the truck forward. But from a scales perspective, I really do think this thing is fantastic, because anytime I add something in the back of the truck, I can know how much roughly that thing weighs, and it's always telling me if I'm over or under my hitch. And I didn't go over these others, but so if this is the first time you've ever set your trailer up, you can go through this smart hitch procedure. So my connection checklist, everything that I'm going to carry with me on this trip is already in the back of the truck. I know that. Okay, so I'm going to reset hitch weight. Yes, I know, that's good. My weight of my trailer is 6,800 pounds. Loaded trailer weight, confirm. Now I'm going to go put the ball on. All right, we'll do this one more time. Connection checklist. This is smart hitching procedure, so I know my hitch weight is good. Reset hitch weight, yes. 6,800 pounds, that's confirmed. Ball is on. I'm not going to hook up these things right now because we're just showing what this does. Light check, that's good. So right now it says increase the hitch weight by moving the load towards the hitch. So if I were to be towing something heavy, it says I have too little weight on the hitch right now based on the weight of my trailer and what's in the truck. Now my chocks are in, so it's kind of sitting wonky on there, so it's not sitting all the way down, but this tells you if you're within your hitch weight or not within your hitch weight, and I think that's a really, really cool feature. But again, your airbags change that. So if I add 300 pounds to this, so my 10% would be 680 pounds and my max would be 1,020 pounds. So I need to move the cargo forward in this instance, but not really because I have the airbag. So this is a wonderful device and a wonderful setup. So if you are interested in your towing capacity and the tongue weight and all the things on your truck, Ford has all built it in there, and it's a really, really great system in my opinion. If you weren't aware, the tongue weight of your trailer should be roughly 10 to 15% of the total loaded trailer weight. So you can do some math there and figure out what yours should be if you don't already know. And again, my airbags throw that number off a little bit. So when I weighed mine, and previous videos, I told you it was 1,400 pounds. That was with a full tank of water and a bunch of other things. So my hitch weight was too heavy. It was over the 15% max. And today when I weighed it and it was showing 600 pounds, I was right under the 10% max. So somewhere around 1,000 to 1,100 pounds is getting close to 15% for me, depending on what I'm carrying in the trailer. So just have you checked your stuff lately? That's my biggest question. You have a smart hitch setup and a standard hitch setup. So if you want to know all the stuff, how it weighs and how it fits into your truck, go do the smart checklist first, which I think is absolutely great. This is my new WaySafe hitch. I will give you a class on it in an upcoming video. Scale over there says right over 1,000, and my other little scale showed 1,100 the other day.
I have a pound of food, a half a pound of coffee, 125 pounds of meat, plus probably 3 pounds of clothes. And I have at least 4 liters of water and an iPad in my bag. So
wow, you got all the things.
do the math.
If you have a truck without the onboard scales, or you don't have the WaySafe hitch, you can get you one of these. Fastway makes this little scale here, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to put a rubber glove over the top of it because of the grease in here, and this keeps this thing clean. You lower this thing down on your ball. Now I have chocks on both sides of the trailer. So what you're supposed to do is lower this thing down until your tongue jack is about 1 inch off the ground, so in case it does fall over. But make sure there's nobody inside your trailer when you're doing this so it doesn't rock around. We're going to see what this scale says. 1,100 pounds here. I had 1,100 pounds on the WaySafe hitch, and the truck was showing 800 pounds. So trucks typically 300 pounds off. That's pretty accurate. This is a wonderful tool if you don't already have a scale. And it's small, like you can just throw this in the back of the truck in your side compartment there, and you can always know what your scales or what your hitch weight is if you don't already know. And if you're not lubricating your hitch, you need to be lubricating your hitch. Make sure you get some Equalizer. Makes a pretty great ball hitch grease. There's a couple different kinds out there, but I just put on a rubber glove and coat the inside of this thing. And when I get where I'm going, I put a tennis ball typically over my other one so I don't get it on my pants as I walk around the truck. Hello. I'm recording some videos.
Really?
If you see me doing weird things, I'm recording videos. That's why I got all the cameras set up.
You're a beautiful dog.
Yes, thank you very much. She's the star of the show always. Connect and lock ball coupler. Now, one neat thing about this truck is when, come on, Dinger. I am always reminded to check my lug nuts and lubricate my windows, check the play in the rotate. Yes, ma'am, you as well. Likewise, thank you very much. Bye. 600, a little over 600. You.